This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to your Friday edition of the afternoon show here live on the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network. Before we get the cast and crew introduced, if you enjoyed today's show, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. We are live, of course, on all of our channels over on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, so on and so forth. The best way you can find all of our content, however, is that great handy-dandy tool, the link tree in the description. Check us out, all the platforms plus TikTok and others, as well as all the other great channels here that we host each and every single day. Joining me, as always, my boy Jay McLovin. Jay, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. I just have a question for you guys. I don't know if you saw this, but Wembanyama may have company at some point in being one of the tallest players in the NBA, because there's a dude out there, and I don't remember his name because I couldn't find the link, but I did the two pieces of information was he plays for Florida, and the kid is 7'9" and a center, and he's the tallest player in college history.
I did see that. It is, I believe his name, and if I mispronounce it, I apologize. He's from Canada, on the French side, but it is, I believe, Olivier Rioux. Like 7'9". He played just over 2 minutes last night. Florida got a just blowout win against North Florida. So they said, all right, let's put the kid in. He didn't have any stats. The only stat he had was he played 2 minutes. And like I said, 7'9". He weighs, I believe it was 305. But if you look at him, he looks like he's 180 just because of how the weight's distributed. They showed a video of him and another player. It might have been the other team center. I'm not familiar. But it showed them side by side. And the guy for North Florida is like 6'8", 6'9". And he's looking up at this guy like, oh, my God.
That's ridiculous.
Just a world record guy right there as well.
The time to be alive.
I'd say you're not kidding. Hey, Tony Gonzalez, how's it going, my man?
Going pretty good. Not too bad. Hanging in there.
That's good. And of course, Chris down there, right there, looking good in the Indiana hoodie. What's going on, man?
I'm not doing too bad. Still trying to get over this damn sickness.
Yeah, 'tis the season, unfortunately, and just keep your vitamin C flowing, and we'll get you back as rain. We've got Frankie here saying the most boring Thursday night football game ever, and what a great way to start off the show. God, you were not kidding. So before we do, we're kind of getting into our Week 10 full-on predictions here for the rest of the week, but we're going to be talking about how it kicked off last night. And God, I hope this is not a sign of things to come this weekend, guys, because rough one in Denver last night. Final score with Denver pulling out just the probably one of the worst games of the year we've seen. Final score 10-7, and just an absolute snooze fest. A lot of just missed opportunities on both sides of the ball. And, I mean, that was one you can definitely wipe from memory banks. Jay, your thoughts on just the lackluster game last night in the AFC West?
Yeah, when I watched that game, because I had two players, and I had Dobbins and Genty going after each other on my fantasy. So that was a big game for me last night. And it felt like both teams just never got into a rhythm. It felt like penalties were a big issue for both of them. They both had guards go down on injury. I think one of them may have came back in, but they both had guards go down on injury. Geno obviously took an injury. I think he did finally come back. I think Pickett got a little bit towards the end, a little bit of action, but it just never – the defense were great, phenomenal. I think Crosby did have one encroachment penalty, but nothing big. But defenses was great, but offenses on both sides were definitely way out of sync. Brock Bowers was almost ineffective. It looked like it a couple of times. That was a takeaway I took. I don't know what you guys thought, but it just looked like they were so out of rhythm.
Yeah, let's go to Chris first. What do you think about last night's game?
The Broncos got lucky. Raiders should have won that game. Raiders defense played their asses off last night and couldn't get no help at all from their offense. Missed, I think, 2 field goals. I know at least one field goal they missed. Got a pump blocked. I mean, the Raiders offense done everything they could to score for Denver more than they did to score for themselves. I mean, even the points Denver got was because of the turnovers and field position. The Raiders defense played their asses off last night, and the offense just couldn't do nothing with the ball. Every time they start getting something going, it was just some kind of self-inflicted mistake by the Raiders seemed to set them back. Denver found a way to win the game, but Raiders very easily could have won that game. It's really outplayed the Broncos on the defensive side of the ball the whole game. Just couldn't do nothing on the offense at all.
Yeah, and Tony, just a absolute lame. Just you can turn this game off. I mean, what was it? It was 7-7 at halftime, so that was basically a sign of things to come for the offense in that matchup. Like I said, if you love defense, if you're a defensive coordinator, I mean, you love the game overall. For everyone else, you're a special teams coordinator. You're throwing things left and right. You're throwing darts at the wall and whatever, and it's just rough. But just get your takeaway from last night.
Well, I watched about the last 6 minutes of the second quarter, and I watched all the fourth quarter. It wasn't a real fun game to watch as far as that goes. Vegas, like Chris said, very easily could have won this game. They had a touchdown called back. They had a punt block, missed field goals. Broncos got a great defense, but I thought Vegas matched that very well with their defense last night, which kind of surprised me a little bit. Vegas defense really stepped up, but neither offense looked very good. Geno was hobbled all that fourth quarter. He was hobbled. Yeah. I mean, he was trying to play. He was trying to do everything he could, but, there's only so much you can do. Denver had an interception. I got Franklin on my fantasy team. He hit him right in the numbers, and it bounced off for an interception late in the game in the fourth quarter. Both offenses. I think Denver's offense is going to be the inconsistency is going to be their downfall of not going very far in the playoffs this year. I think they've got the defense. There's no doubt about it. They've got a good enough defense to go a long way, but I just don't know if their offense is consistent enough to be able to win multiple games in the playoffs, if they do get there, which they are first in their division right now. So it's looking pretty good, but yeah, it was not a great game to watch by any means.
So my takeaway from this is I'm going to refrain from words. I'm just going to let this photo, as I pulled up here on the screen, speak for itself about my feelings on how last night's game went as a resident Raiders fan. It'll move here. There we go. Yep. There it is, tapping it right there. And, just whatever. Whatever. It's whatever. We're cooked. My whole life's been in shambles with this team. Every year we have some hope. It just dashes away. We think, oh, great. We get Pete Carroll. Tremendous. We get Geno Smith. Remember how good he looked 2 years ago? He still got it right. No, get Ashton Genty, first-round pick. He's he's not been bad, but we expect a little bit better. Hey, we got Brock Bowers. I'll take it. I love Brock. He's great. He got like 40-something points in fantasy the other week, so that's helpful, but just done with it. Just done with it. Let me bring in Big Glenn real quick here. Hey, Glenn, what's going on, my friend? Let's get your thoughts, wrap it up here about Thursday Night Football. Awful matchup. Your thoughts on it?
The only thing that was good about the game was it netted to be 16 points for fantasy, so that's about it.
That's the main takeaway for everyone here on the panel, is it helped out some teams. I had Bo Nix in my work fantasy league. I had Bo Nix who got like 5 points, and then I didn't have Denver's defense. That got me like 15. So
yeah,
at least I had that. So that was rough, but just awful, I think.
One thing real quick that I noticed, it seemed like, if you look at there was 3 interceptions, right?
Yes.
2 by Denver, 1 by Raiders. And out of those, 2 of them bounced out of the receiver's hands. Genty had one that went right through his hands, right into Broncos defense and intercepted. And then, like Tony said, Franklin had one go right through his hands. And I saw Brock Bowers have one that he should have caught. It just seemed like, some of that was a quarterback, some of that was the offensive line, because the Raiders' offensive line gave up 6 sacks to the Broncos. I think Denver gave up 2 sacks. But it just a lot of it was just simple things like watching the ball into your hands, focus on making the catch, just little things like that, which really hurt them. Now, the field goals, that you can't help that. That wind was all over the place. If you watch those flags, it looked like they had tornado winds going through. So I don't really hold that against them. But the receivers really hurt their quarterbacks big time, not making some of those catches that should have been made that led to interceptions, as well as the O-line giving up those sacks. Those are some of the biggest things I took away from Thursday.
Yeah, and hopefully the rest of the week, Saturday, Sunday, a lot better than what we started off with. But let's go and you guys want to get into the game? You want to go into the news of the day before we keep moving here?
Don't make a difference to me.
Oh, we can go with the news.
Let's go with the news. Let's go with the news. What do you guys want to start with here? Do you want to go kind of more of the legal route, because there are a couple cases with that, and that you can start off kind of hard news and transition into stuff on the field. Let's go with Antonio Brown, maybe the heaviest one. Boy, what a career for that guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, my God, he was on track, I'd say, to being just one of a top receiver. I mean, he had fantastic numbers when he was in Pittsburgh, and then everyone claims him to be the head honcho, the head spokesperson for CTE nowadays. So, I mean, he's made a lot of kind of just dumb decisions. And the latest news now is that he is going over to Miami. He waives his extradition. He'll return to Miami. So he will return to Miami from a New Jersey jail after deciding not to contest his extradition in Florida on an attempted murder charge, officials said today. So that is the latest on that. Let's get your thoughts, how it's going so far. Obviously, just kind of, news that's been transpiring over the last 24, 48 hours or so. And Jay, we'll start off with you first. Just everything going on with this, how it's looking.
Yeah. So this happened a while ago, obviously. And as Antonio Brown was throwing down bullets, one of them nicked the neck of one of the guys that was, I think, testifying. So that's why he's getting charged for attempted murder. It's a big thing. The U.S. Marshals went straight out to Dubai, grabbed his butt, and drug him back. I don't know why he had to go to New Jersey rather than just straight to Miami for the court proceedings. Maybe you guys might know a little bit more about that than I do. But that's what he did. He went to Jersey, and then he went over to Miami for that. I got to imagine if I'm the defense team for Antonio Brown, and I think Frankie said it as best, that there's a lot of CTE in this kid's head. And that's probably one of the things I'm going to be. If I was this defense team, I'd be claiming CTE. That'd probably be my biggest claim as to why he did what he did. And I think the on-the-field actions of him ripping off the jersey and walking off the field and all the other things that he's done kind of supports that claim of things that are abnormal for the normal person. So if I was just defense team, I'd be claiming CTE and see where that goes. But I think he's looking at 15 years. Probably get about half that if he does his good behavior. But Antonio Brown, man, the drama just never ends with him. But Logan and guys, I really think a lot of that is just CTE. I think that perfect hit that he took, he was never right after that. Not that he was right before. He was kind of a weird dude before it, but he really spun off the rails after that perfect hit. And yeah,
that's the one they always kind of point to because it was a nasty hit. But I mean, there's no telling how many concussions he's had throughout his career, right. Prior to that, after that. And obviously, there's levels of severity to every one of them. And just since he retired, the drama really hasn't stopped. It started on the field and now it's moving over to in real life.
Right.
And now it is, literally deadly serious with how far it's gone. Tony, let's get your comments.
I don't know a lot about it. I didn't know that that there was even an issue with CTE. To be honest with you, I just thought I always thought he was kind of an idiot myself. So I didn't know that the CTE was kind of an issue. And if it is, I hope they take a look at it and he can get some help. But I would say more than likely, if he is guilty of this, they'll plea bargain down and probably never even go to trial. I mean, if he's guilty and they know it, they'll probably never make it to trial, and he'll plea bargain down and probably won't spend a lot of considerable time in prison. That's just my opinion. Usually stars and people with money usually get a better end of the stick. So that's what I kind of expect, but we'll see.
Chris, do you share that same sentiment?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens because something is a little fishy on it to me. Is why do you go to New York or New Jersey or whatever? If you're extraditing him for a case, he should be going straight to wherever it is. So I'd like to get more information about that. But I mean, it's not real surprising because I mean the dude's has had some problems in the past and has done some out of character stuff in the past. So it'd be interesting to see what happens from it. I don't expect he'll do a whole lot of jail time over it. He might already be having some kind of deal in place or something if they're sending him to New York or New Jersey before Miami. So it'd be interesting what comes out from that. But I don't think he'll do much jail time because, like Dad said, with the money and stuff he has, and he ain't really been in no big trouble with the law, like where he's done a lot of jail time or stuff in the past. So I don't think he'll do a whole lot of jail time. He got lucky that the one of them bullets didn't hit because then he'd be really fucked.
Oh yeah.
And Big Glenn, your comments here on the latest development with Antonio Brown.
Yeah, that perfect hit that he took in the playoffs that 1 year, you can just see the trajectory being downward ever since because that opened up a whole new kind of crazy for him in that way. And I'm not trying to be funny about it, but just the off the field actions, the on the field actions, the issues in the locker room when he was in Miami and New England, wherever he ended up doing the Jersey thing. I think it was Tampa Bay. Just unfortunate, and it's CTE. I mean, he even on Twitter was naming his Twitter CTE ESPN.
Yes, that's what it was. I couldn't remember it. That
Yeah,
I mean, he was making merchandise off of it.
Yeah, exactly. So he it's one of those things that he's living up to the name in that way. And it's unfortunate, and I hope it gets the help that he needs.
Yeah,
that man's net worth.
Okay.
That man's net worth is negative in the negatives. It's like
Wow.
he owes 2.9 million to creditors, and he has assets of less than $50,000. He's broke as shit.
Wow.
That man ain't got no damn money.
He's broken in Rocky 5. I mean,
yeah. Golly.
Yeah, he's
it always amazes me. It always amazes me how athletes just blow through money like there's no tomorrow. And I will say, it definitely, I think, has gotten better in recent years. You don't hear about nearly as many stories with that, thankfully, but it's still out there, obviously. Golly, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that number. That is insane.
Yeah, he actually filed for bankruptcy, and that's how the number came out. It's actually 2.93 million. That he owes to creditors. So yeah,
it's about to go down even more because he's going for the top shelf lawyer.
Yeah,
he's going for the cream of the crop in this one. He's going for the ones that are behind the paywall that we can't even look at.
Bruh,
you know it, man.
You know what worries me about Antonio, and what was kind of something there's no way we could test for CTE. They don't have anything. The only way you can do about that is after he dies, you can take the brain out, put it under a microscope, and then that's how you find out the severity of the CTE. So it may be really hard for the defense to actually even prove CTE because of the fact that they can't detect for it. But you got to imagine, if my worst fear for Antonio is if he goes to prison and has to do some serious prison time, however many years that may even be, could he wind up being like Aaron Hernandez, who we all know who had major CTE, and wind up and that be his fate? I mean, again, Antonio is not exactly dealing with the full deck of cards, and I don't think he ever has. So that is one of the concerns that I have. If he goes to prison and that's the real prison time, what is going to be the outcome, of that? I don't know.
Yeah, good point. And, just kind of keeping it more on the legal side of things before we start getting back to on the field. It was announced earlier that Mark Sanchez, he is no longer going to be with Fox Sports. This is after he was arrested back in October for allegedly, this is all alleged still, don't forget, allegedly attacking a truck driver last month. In the meantime, or as a replacement, rather, Fox hired Drew Brees just the other day. That news broke. So you replace one quarterback with another on the analyst route. And like I said, we just talked about how bad it was for AB, and it's getting worse for Mark Sanchez. Let's go with Tony first. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I figured it sounds like he's pretty guilty with some of the footage that they have and eyewitnesses accounts. Fox didn't have much choice because Fox was named in the lawsuit that the family's already filed. They named Fox in the suit too, so they've got their own battles to worry about. I mean, I'm sorry. It sounds like to me the guy's getting what he deserved. I hope they rack him as good as they can, because the dude attacked a 70-year-old man. It's ridiculous. I mean, and I think there was more than alcohol involved. I seen some footage of that showed him running around doing like sprints and stuff at the hotel before this happened, and that don't sound like we would have been drunk if he could do that. So I'm wondering if he wasn't on some other chemicals too. So, but like I said, I hope the 70-year-old man and his family make out very well in this situation.
Yeah, and Chris, let's get your thoughts on this with the latest with Mark Sanchez officially getting the boot from Fox Sports.
Unfortunately, I think this is about all he'll get. He'll lose his job, but he's not going to do no jail time. He's not. He'll pay some fines and get probation on the legal side, and he'll pay this other. He'll have to pay a bunch of money to the family, but like he ain't going, other than losing a lot of money and losing his job. That's what's going to happen to him. I think out of this, there ain't going to be no jail time or nothing like that. He'll probably have to do some anger management classes and pay a bunch of fines. And they'll have him on probably some kind of probation. But no, it's not, I mean, it sounds like he's. I mean, Fox didn't have a choice once they were mentioned in the lawsuit. My whole question on this was,
all right, I'll talk to you later.
If he's employed by Fox Sports,
Guys trying to get a hold of you there.
If he's employed by Fox Sports, then that game that weekend wasn't even on Fox. That game that weekend of the Colts was on CBS. So is CBS CBS uses Fox Sports guys to fill in as some of their commentary spots or something, because the game was on CBS that weekend. And so that was kind of strange to me. If he's employed by Fox, what? I guess Fox and CBS must be licensed, or getting some of Fox's guys to fill in for their games. It would be my only thing on that, because it was a CBS game. Because Colts we only play on Fox a couple times, and if we do, it's against NFC teams.
Yeah,
we never play on Fox against AFC teams.
Yeah. Huh. Okay, I didn't even know that. Interesting. Big Glenn, let's go with your thoughts here. Mark Sanchez now out of a job.
Yeah, I know exactly where I took place too, because it wasn't that far from where I'll stay at. So
that was right up the street from you, I think. I think you
Yeah.
said it was 15 minutes away.
Out his window.
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't for the Salesforce tower, I probably could have seen it. But anyway, man, not surprised the Fox fired him in that way. Also, I have to agree with on Chris that he'll probably pay the family and pay some fines and all that other stuff, and probably not doing any jail time. But he still might do some jail time though. I could see that be the possibility. But other than that, this man ain't gonna be taking care of the lawsuit and shit like that.
Yeah, it's it'll be interesting to see how it keeps going. And of course, Jay, what are your thoughts now on Mark Sanchez and what's going to be next for him?
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I'm right there with you, Tony. I feel like if you have drunken to that level, the last thing you're doing is sprinting, because I have been drunk to that level before. Not that I'm proud of it, I am not. But back in my younger days when I would get like that, the last thing I was doing was able to do sprinting, unless it was planting face forward into the concrete. So I don't think it was. I think I'm speculating, of course, but based on the actions that we've heard, I am quite assuming that it definitely is more than that, and I would be curious to find out what exactly that was. But in terms of attacking a 70-year-old man, he had to be out of his damn mind. I can't imagine anybody attacking a 70-year-old man for absolutely no reason at all, other than I was in a parking spot, or I think it was some irrelevant topic. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think he broke his window. I mean, he went all out on this. And the fact that if all he does is lose his job, no, that's not near enough. And if I'm the 70-year-old guy, I'm going to have him in a civil lawsuit, and he will be paying me some money, because that's crazy. That's ridiculous. And Jesus, if you are getting, maybe Mark needs to be in a rehab somewhere, because whatever, if he's really doing that and allowing himself to get like that point. And we haven't heard anything of remorse. Have you guys heard him come out and say anything publicly? I haven't, and maybe I haven't seen it. Has he done that?
Kinda, yes, but like he has to like stay within, like, can't really comment on the situation kind of deal.
Yeah, that's not unusual, Jay. When lawyers get involved, the first thing they tell you to do is shut up.
Yeah, because it's a whole legal issue. But sometimes, Tony, and I get that, man. I get it. I get it. It's a crazy thing in this world, man. But I do agree with Chris. Losing your job, that's not enough. There needs to be civil penalties. If they're not going to go after him and put him in jail for assault, which is a felony, at least you should get a year or two. But again, money, lawyers, I'm sure they're going to get him out of that. But at the very least, there should be a lawsuit, a civil lawsuit, where I think he owes that guy some damn money.
Yeah, and of course, whatever developments come from it, we'll give an update here on the channel as they become available. Back to on the field news here, a couple of injury updates, and we'll start off with the one that's going to hit the most for the guys up here. And it is announced that defensive tackle for the Indianapolis Colts, DeForest Buckner, he'll be heading to the IR, and that is due to a neck injury. Tough one there. They announced it earlier today after their practice course, as we know. The Colts are playing the Atlanta Falcons at 9:30 in the morning Eastern Standard in Berlin, Germany. So just a wild week for everyone involved. And for Indianapolis, some rough news ahead of already what was going to be a challenging game just with waking up as early as you have to. And all this disruption with travel just makes it even tougher, I think, for everybody. What are your thoughts? Let's go with Tony, you first.
Yeah, it kind of sucks a little bit. I mean, here we are, just made a big move to get Sauce Gardner and hoping to get our defense as close as we can to full strength, because we do have some other injuries. Now, this injury definitely hurts, but I think we'll be okay. I like our defensive schemes. I like our defensive coordinator. So I think they'll make the adjustments they need. Atlanta can be a test. Again, they're another one of these offensive teams that are up and down. They can look really good as anybody in the league, and they can look as bad as anybody in the league. So, and they've got a good running back. So, it could be a tough game, but I think we'll be okay. Hopefully, Buckner has to miss at least 4 games. Hopefully, that's all it is. Once you get put on injury reserve, it's I think a minimum of 4 games. So, hopefully, it's the minimum, and not more games than that.
Jay, I think I just saw you shaking your head for a second. What, you have any comments on that?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was responding to a text. I apologize.
Well, let's get your thoughts already on this. Let's talk about DeForest Buckner.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I didn't even know much about DeForest Buckner, honestly, until you guys had mentioned that. Can you tell me one more time what exactly did happen to him? I knew he was going through some issues. I just didn't know what the issue was.
Just a neck injury. I don't know exactly what happened or the play. I haven't seen it, but they're listing with a neck injury.
Is that is it okay? I wasn't sure what the severity of the injury was.
It doesn't specify exactly what it is. And
yeah, I mean, Indy's going to be Indy's. They're doing well. Like I said, they just acquired a shutdown corner that I think has the same type of value as what Dion did for the Cowboys when he could shut down that whole side of the field. That was a huge pickup for them. DeForest Buckner, losing him obviously is an issue, but this Indy team seems to be pretty resilient. The culture of Indy seems to be great. Daniel Jones has really got this team going the right direction in terms of not making turnover or not committing turnovers and really facilitating the ball well. Jonathan Taylor, like we all have said yesterday, is having a breakout season. So DeForest Buckner will be missed, but I think this team it's going to affect them, but not to the point where I don't think it takes anything away from their chances of getting into the AFC championship. I think they're definitely on that path.
Yeah, so far on that route and hit a little bit of a speed bump here. And Chris, let's get your thoughts on Buckner going away for a little bit here as he recovers from this injury.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to impact us a little bit. It sucks that he got hurt, but if you're going to have to miss a little time, this is the time of the year to miss it. And he should be back and healthy for the stretch run at the end of the season and for the playoffs. So, I mean, you never want to see a guy go down, but silver lining part is it's week 9 or 10, and then it's not week 18, 17, 18, where then you're limping into the playoffs with it. Plus, we have a Latu on the defensive line that's stepped up and been playing real well. So we have some guys on the defensive line that's been stepping up. So I don't worry real bad because I already knew he wasn't playing this week. They announced earlier in the week that he was going to be out this week. So it's basically just going to be at least 3 more games. So yeah, I mean, yeah, he'll be missed some, but I do think the addition of Sauce Gardner helps that because if our coverage on the back end is better, that gives our defensive line a little more time as well. Main thing for our defense is just getting some guys healthy. Especially at cornerback, we were depleted. That's one of the reasons they went and got to trade for Gardner was because we've had a lot of injuries at cornerback. We're starting to get some of them guys back. Once we get healthy there, I think we'll be fine. But yeah, it sucks that he got hurt. But like I said, at least it's the middle of the season, not the end. And hopefully it's just 3 more weeks. As far as this weekend, I think the Colts will get back on track. That was last weekend was our first game where our offensive line hasn't played well. I think after the way we played last week on offense, I think our offense is going to come out this week and play a lot better. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. The only thing that sucks is at 9:30 in the morning. So then the rest of fucking Sunday, I'm gonna be bored. Because he plays so damn early.
There's no NASCAR either, man. So
I'm looking forward to see the Colts get back on track.
You got some free time this week. And Glenn, I'll pose this question to you since you're last up on the panel here. Which Daniel Jones will be showing up this week? Joe wants to know, is Daniel Jones going to get back on track and Colts going to keep rolling?
Yeah, I think we're going to see the Super Bowl champion Indiana Jones this weekend. So
if you would have told me like 4 years ago, if Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold were MVP candidates,
you would be like, what the
I think all of us would have said, you're out of your damn mind. There's no way. But
absolutely,
that just shows, man, that development and getting that right coach, it really can make a turn a career around, make a huge difference in both those guys. But like I said, we'll talk more about that here as we move on with the season. But yeah, unfortunate news for Buckner, but I think, like I said, Colts they'll still take care of business. Atlanta is just God, they suck. It's infuriating to watch because I get all the games here. I'm a local. I get to watch all the games for free. And this offense. Look, I will say this: Michael Penix had a good performance last week. He had a great game overall. When you look at the numbers, Drake London had another huge breakout game. Glad he's kind of rising to occasion. Bijan Robinson had issues in the run game, but he made up for it in the pass game, which that's what you love about him. He's got that, Christian McCaffrey kind of, play to him where he can get it done in both ways. The defense, I think, got 6 sacks. I mean, my God. I mean, you had all these factors of why you should win. And
I just wonder how long Bijan Robinson waits before he demands a trade. Like, say, or not that Saquon demanded a trade.
I will say this. I will say this. And Bijan's he's a quiet guy. You don't hear a whole lot from him. You know, the media. You don't see him any headlines throughout the week. You know what I mean? He kind of seems to himself. Hopefully he stays because he's their best offensive weapon. Drake London a close second. But like the defense looked great. They've had a few games this year where they look, that the two young defensive players they drafted this past year where they showed up. And we saw it this past week as well. But they're on their third kicker, 9 games deep. Do I need to say more? And it ain't because injury. It ain't because guys are going down left and right.
At this point, you might want to just call Pat McAfee, see if he's available.
Yeah, I mean, might as well. It's been a struggle for both teams I watch. And the thing, too, I didn't think the Carolina Panthers would be as good as they are. They're, I think, 5-4 on the year?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the best season. I feel like that's the best season they've had in a while. I mean, the Falcons aren't the Saints. We're not that bad. we're not that rough. But I mean, they haven't made the playoffs in 8, close to 9 years, I think. So it's just been an issue overall. But let me get the schedule pulled up here, and we can kind of go through these games. Obviously, we know first one, Atlanta and Indiana. And Jay, let's kind of get your thoughts here. Moving on to the game, this not afternoon, not night, but this upcoming morning.
Yeah, that's the so Colts in Atlanta. You guys are out there in Berlin. I'm wondering how many Dunkelweissens that team has consumed while they're in Germany, because Germany is famous for its beer and their brew house. So I wonder if I'm the coaching staff, if I say, "Hey guys, let's go easy on the Dunkelweissens," that beer is so good. But anyway, my thoughts on it is Colts are going to win it, hands down. I just, like you said, I think the Jets are a little bit of a funk, man. They just, they got some good pieces, but that team is just not operating consistently. So, yeah, I think Colts are going to take it. I think Jonathan's going to have a good day. I really hope Michael Pittman, if you hear me, kicks ass. He's on my fantasy squad. So I hope Pittman goes off. But, I definitely think Colts are going to take it, Logan. Atlanta is just in a funk right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's that it's not really on defense. Defense has played pretty well consistently this year for the most part, except for the 30-0 loss to Carolina and whatnot. But it's the special teams have really hurt this team, and that's the one thing that no one really ever talks about until it's a problem. Is special teams and how important it is to your team's success. But let's transition here. Talk about the game. Big Glenn, Colts going to Germany, consuming a few adult beverages per Jay McLovin's request, and they're going to be out one of their best players. But you still think they can get it done?
Yeah, I think they get it done. Even with them going down to the real light district, and shit. So that's beside the fact. Colts get it done by 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. Okay, gotcha. And Chris, let's get your thoughts here on the upcoming game.
Colts are 6.5-point favorites. This is considered a home game for the Colts, which I think is bullshit. You shouldn't lose out on a home game. They need to figure that out, where teams don't lose out on a home game to go play in these overseas games. But because I understand you're going overseas and you want to grow the game, but that's one less opportunity that fans have to try to here in Indiana to try to go to a game. That's already hard to get to go to games because they're basically selling out every week. So just one less opportunity. But no, I think the Colts win. I think the Colts win by 2 scores. I look for the offense, especially Jonathan Taylor and that offensive line, to respond real big this week after kind of getting embarrassed a little bit last week by the Steelers defensive line. And then the Colts defense played their asses off last week. Like we turned the ball over 6 times, only gave up 27 points. Like most teams you give up 6 turnovers, you're giving up 35, 40 points, and you're losing by 20. We turned the ball over 6 times, lost by 7 points.
Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't like we just played flat out terrible. We played terrible on one side of the ball. And a lot of that to me wasn't Daniel Jones. A lot of it was just our offensive line was getting blown off the line of scrimmage. And that usually don't happen. I look for them to get that fixed this week. So, yeah, I like the Colts by at least 2 scores.
Hey, Logan, one question and one comment. One is you guys obviously are going against each other this weekend. I think the biggest thing for this game, the highlight for this game, or the thing that I would watch in this game would be the fact that you both have high prolific running backs going at it. So my question is to all of you guys, all of you, even Glenn. Glenn, I know you're a Colts fan undercover. You're not fooling me. Who gets more yards, Taylor or Bijan?
Taylor.
And if so, by how much? How much more? 100 yards more? 50 yards
How about
more?
50?
About 50 yards more?
50. Now, here's the important question, Jay. You said yards. Are you including passing yards, or receiving yards in this?
Yeah.
Or are you just talking on the run?
I'm just doing rushing, not all purpose.
Just rushing?
Just rushing.
Just rushing. I'll give the edge to Taylor. But overall, I think Bijan could get it by. I'll be humble. I'll go 25.
So you think Taylor gets him in rushing yards, but all-purpose yards?
All-purpose Bijan gets him. That's what I think.
Y'all see it that same way, or do y'all have a different view of that?
I think Taylor will have more yards, all-purpose yards. I ain't gonna say it's gonna be by no 50 or 60, but the way we use Taylor, he runs the ball. He usually catches 7 to 10 passes a game out of the backfield as well. So kind of like Bijan, we use them both. They're both used similar. So yeah, I think Taylor will have more all-purpose yards. But I mean, if Bijan does, I wouldn't be real surprised either because both of them are great players.
Yeah.
And I just have one comment. Yeah, Chris, when your team is on top of the world and you're winning games, it's going to be real hard to get a ticket. But if your team is dog water like Jets, you get it for free. Probably.
Or Colts sell out. Colts were selling out the last 2 seasons when we went 7-2.
Oh, and when y'all weren't, y'all were still selling out.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Go Indiana.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep moving here. Let's just go down the line. Let's go with Jacksonville and taking on the Houston Texans AFC South matchup there. And we'll start off with Chris and your initial comments here on this matchup. Battle of the 2 young quarterbacks, of course, as they continue kind of their journey throughout the league with Trevor Lawrence and, of course, with C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, this is an interesting game to me. They have the Jaguars favored by a 1.5 on the road. It's an interesting game to me because Jacksonville ain't been playing great. Houston has a great defense, but their offense wasn't real good when they had Stroud. Now they got Davis Mills or whatever his name is as the backup. So I'm going to go with the Jags here just because I think the Texans are going to struggle to score enough points. But I do think this will be a close game because of the Texans defense. But I like the Jags to pick up a win on the road.
Okay, let's go with Tony.
Yeah, I know Mills is playing. He's not that bad of a he's a serviceable backup. That's at Houston. I think Houston's playing better. I know they didn't win last week. They probably should have. I'm going to go with Houston in a small upset.
Okay. All right, let's go with Big Glenn.
Jacksonville.
Okay. And finally, Jay McLovin.
Yeah, it's going to be Jacksonville. I cannot for the life of me. Number one, you have no Stroud. You have no Mixon. And then Chubb is questionable, so he's a little bit banged up. I just don't think that's going to be a recipe for success. And Houston's just been in the slump. So I think this is Jacksonville's game to win.
I can't believe Jay picked against his favorite team, the Texans.
I can't believe you're an asshole.
Oh, that's brutal. And let's see if we can get him on here. He's taking us on the road. Where are we going today, Foxborough, Frankie? See, we're in the car. Where are you vlogging from today?
I just got done hanging out with my mom. I'm actually heading home right now before the girls get home from school. I was really hoping to drive to Tampa, but my wife wouldn't let me.
You were hoping to drive to Tampa?
I was hoping to drive to Tampa, but my wife wouldn't let me.
Aw. What
Yeah,
are you going to Tampa
I
for?
can understand why.
New England's playing Tampa.
Yeah, I know. She ain't let his ass drive to Tampa. He lucky he got to go to his mom's house. He got his car back.
All right. I'll wrap this one up here. I'll go Jacksonville as well. Like we're all pretty much all for the most part agreement with here. All right, let's see what game we have next here on the docket. Let's go with another 1 p.m. kick. I feel like a lot of it's going to be in solid here. This one, Buffalo and Miami. Let's go with Jay McLevin. Kick us off here. How we going?
Yeah, Buffalo and Miami. Miami just dog water. I mean, you know that whole damn organization is in a disarray. And because of that, because they are in such a disarray, it's going to be Buffalo, and it's not even going to be close. It's going to be really ugly for the city of Miami, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Let's go with let's go with Chris. Chris, your thoughts here? Buffalo, Miami. Is this even going to be a contest?
No, I expect Buffalo to win this game. I don't see Miami being able to keep up with them.
Yeah, it should be, I think, a pretty solid matchup for Buffalo. I think Big Glenn, what you mean? Josh Allen masterclass here. We think an MVP type performance.
Yeah, I'm thinking about 4 touchdowns. Sounds about right, especially the way Miami is playing right now.
Yeah, All right. Put the check mark up there for them. That's my thoughts. So I think that's it ain't gonna be close. That's at least I think a 30-point win.
I have one question about Miami real quick, if you don't mind. I'd like to ask everybody this question. Since we're talking Miami super fast, do you think that the coach is going to be fired as soon as this season concludes?
Yeah, Black Monday is going to be the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I no question about it. They fired the was it GM they fired recently?
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah. And that's rare. I feel that you fire the GM first and then you keep the head coach. That feels kind of backwards in this situation.
Yeah.
It is just to get ready to get rid of Daniel, the Monday after the end of the season. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let's see.
Yeah, Joe, I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know why the stream ended all of a sudden.
Did it end?
No, it's still live.
No, we're still good here. I do see that Chris in the background, something on the Facebook side. It's just that one destination.
Oh, I see that. That actually happened. Yes, that happened yesterday too. Where that happened.
We should still be good to go on all of our other channels here, including the GSR YouTube page. So we should still be there live. It show we're good there. But I think that let's just we'll wrap up that one there and keep moving here with the loaded games we got. Also, everyone got their predictions in, I believe so.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't.
Okay,
but real quick, I'll go Buffalo.
Buffalo, and I see you still here, Frankie. What do you think here? Buffalo, you got Miami.
He probably taking Miami.
Buffalo.
He's going with the upset. Well, he's going down to Tampa, so I think he might as well just enjoy the rest of the teams down there. All right. Yeah, I already got the check mark there, so we're all set. God, another just tough game between two opponents this is a tank bowl right here, ladies and gentlemen. Cleveland and New York. No eyeballs will be on this game. may God have mercy on your soul if you watch this and you enjoy these franchises. I couldn't do it. Jay McLovin, who's winning this just rock throwing contest?
Yeah, I'm going with the Browns on this one. I think obviously because of the fact that the Jets just sold off a good chunk of that team. I just think they're not going to have it right now. So not that they had it to begin with, but the fact that you got rid of a chunk of it is even worse. So I think because of that and that reason alone, I'm going to go Browns. But yeah, you're right. This is one of them games where it just really doesn't matter. But if you're going to bet on it or do a suicide pick on it, I would go Browns.
Yeah, this one's going to be a rough one. Chris, your thoughts? Who's winning this Tank Bowl?
I like the Browns in this game. Jets to me was the worst football team in the NFL before the trade deadline, and they just made themselves even worse. So I'm gonna go with the Cleveland Browns.
All right, Tony, your thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, Cleveland. I like Cleveland's defense, and the Jets are disarray maybe even more than the Browns. So I got Cleveland.
All right, cool. So with Big Glenn, how you think, man?
It's gonna be the Browns. This is one of those who gives a fuck games.
This is just one of those games you watch for your fantasy players, if I'm being honest.
I'm probably watching it on the Game Center, honestly, on the app at that point. I ain't trying to watch that.
I think it's notable if anybody does have or any players on there fantasy wise, it's notable to note that Fannin Jr. There's a good chance he's not playing this game because of that hamstring he's dealing with. So Njoku is probably going to be the prime recipient of those tight end targets, obviously.
Okay. Yeah, and Fannin, he had a lot of hype coming out of him from college. Went to Bowling Green, won the Mackey Award, I believe, in college for the best overall tight end. Was second, beat out by Tyler Warren. But that was a controversial pick whenever that award did come out. But yeah, interesting to note there. And Frankie, let's go with you, my man. How we feeling in that one?
Do I have to pick? Like, is it really like? It's dumb. Like, why do we have to even? Why is this game even made? Like, why would the NFL thought that this would be a watch?
Why didn't they nuke it from the schedule? Yeah.
It's just mind blowing to me. Like, I guess I'm gonna go with the Browns, right? I wouldn't have picked the Jets either way. I mean, they sucked before, they suck now, they're gonna suck forever. Cleveland.
You think New York wants Aaron Rodgers back at this point?
Do they want who back?
They want Aaron Rodgers back.
Does Cleveland want Aaron Rodgers back?
No. Do the Jets?
Oh, the Jets. I thought you said
When the hell did Rodgers ever play for Cleveland?
That's what I was
I didn't say he did. I just, you know what, man? Fuck you.
The real question, Logan, you should be asking is, does Aaron Rodgers want to be back on the Jets, or is he happy now that he's no longer with the Jets?
He's probably happy.
I'm happy, yeah. Yeah, I'm happy. But yeah, it's Cleveland. Cleveland, this is for you. You get the win for the bulk of us here, and congrats. I did see that. I did see that Shedeur Sanders is climbing his way up the depth chart. He's quarterback number 2 now after all the dominoes have fallen. I did see that came out the other day, where they listed him as the backup quarterback. So he went from 5th all the way to 2nd. He's climbing up, and we'll see if anything works there. All right, Frank, I already know who you're going to pick with this one. It's your boys taking on Tampa Bay. I know you're going to pick them the one you got the gear on. I ain't crazy. But give me a score. Give me a margin between this matchup because Tampa Bay ain't no slouch.
31-27 Patriots.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Tony, do you agree? Is that a close margin for you as well? Who do you think is going to win the ball game?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with Frank. But I would have it 30-27. I think New England wins by a field goal.
Okay. Let's go with Jay McLovin.
Yeah, I'm more in alignment with Tony. I think it'll be 30-27 because, geez, boy, Tampa just has some big injuries, right? I mean, between Irving and Godwin still out, Mike Evans obviously done. I just don't know that Baker has enough weapons to honestly compete. But I'll tell you this though, that man's heart. If quarterbacks had Baker's heart, it would be insane. But yeah, I'm going to go with New England on that one, unfortunately.
Big Glenn, who you got taking home the W?
New England 35-31.
Ooh, all right. And finally, Chris, your thoughts on this matchup here in Tampa?
Well, I think it's going to be a real good game. They got the Bucks as 2.5-point favorites at home, which is about right with them being at home. But Bucks have a couple injuries. Patriots have been playing well. I like the Patriots to win. I figure it'll come down to a field goal.
Yeah, this is Jay. You just mentioned, and we just joked about quarterbacks wanting or teams wanting their former quarterbacks back home with them. Boy, Cleveland really wants Baker Mayfield back. Golly, I mean, everyone thought it was dumb whenever they got rid of him in the first place. Remember, he bounced around for a little bit. Went to I forget the order. I think it was Carolina, where he was like on the practice squad. Yeah, he was on the practice squad taking, I think, cornerback reps. And then ended up going to LA in the Rams and had a good couple games there. And then we see since he got over to Tampa, he's just been, we saw what we saw in Cleveland, where he's got that just energy to him, that way that he can, he's one of the most clutch quarterbacks in the league. Because he's one of those guys where, all right, 2-minute warning, and we're down by 3. We need a touchdown to win the ball game. They got the possession. He's going to eat you up. And it's happened to, I think, all of our teams with him. At least it feels like it. And he's a damn good quarterback. So I'm going to go with I'm going to go with New England in this one. I think that overall, just hell of a just job that they've done over there with Mike Vrabel and company. Drake May looking like a superstar. Frankie, I know you're pumped that's finally happening. After all the quarterbacks. Remember you're on team Mac Jones a little while ago, and you thought he was the one. That didn't turn out, but you got Drake May, and he's proven, to lead this team to great success that you've seen this year.
I feel like Mac Jones would have still been a New England Patriot if Josh McDaniels never left. I feel like that's what more happened. Josh McDaniels left and everything went to shit, and Mac was like going downhill from there, and he wasn't happy. But I'm more happy at the fact that it's been a while since everybody on this panel, I've heard everybody on this panel all agreed for my team to finally, we're 10 weeks into the season and everybody's finally agreeing on the same page here. We're all picking the Patriots. It makes me happy because now I know we're back. We got a Cowboys fan who hates
before we go down the road.
See, here you go. We got a Cowboy fan that hates my team.
Hold on. Listen, you playing a soft as Charmin schedule. Let's keep it under control, man. It's not like you go back. If you were going up against, I don't know, the Rams or Seattle, you'd be a first round exit in the playoffs. Let's just keep it under real. But you are playing better, but let's not get ahead of ourselves, Frank.
Those are NFC teams.
Every fan, every person that's a fan of a team that's losing, that's their excuse why one of their friends' team is winning. They never play nobody. The same thing we heard yesterday about in college football. Now we're hearing the same thing today in NFL. Ricky, if they just play who they put in front of them and they're whooping their ass, that's all that matters.
God, you a glorious, ungrateful bastard. That's what IU stands for.
What's funny to me? What's funny to me, Chris, is Dallas has an easy schedule as well, but yet they can't beat teams against under 500. What's your record against under 500 teams this year, Jay? I think it's like 0-3, 0-4. I'm not sure.
I never said my team was great. Let's get that straight. First and foremost. But let's not act like New England. No, guys are just kissing their ass a little bit. He got pneumonia. He ain't thinking clearly, okay? He got calm down.
Why are you just throwing my business out there like that?
Right. It's not like you haven't been sick. You've been coughing for like the last 2 months. I'm just giving you a clarified answer. The man who says, I got something in my mouth live on air. Now he worried about me saying he got fluid on the lungs. What are we talking about?
He did say that.
Where were we? All right, next game here.
Oh, no,
Carolina,
that really happened. That was hilarious. That day.
the
when it
team that
happened.
the Cowboys lost to.
Yeah. No, we're off this week. There is no Cowboys game.
No,
this week.
there is no count. I'm glad you brought that up, Jay, as we kind of move over to the other side of the panel here.
Yes,
There's no Bengals, there's no Cowboys, there's no Chiefs, and thank God there's no Titans this week. Those teams are all hanging out, enjoying a week off, and just chilling. So they're off. And Jay, hopefully you guys can figure something out. All right, New Orleans put the bags over the heads already. They're taking on team surprise this year, Carolina Panthers, currently second in the NFC South, and you know that they are also rooting for the New England Patriots to win this weekend, so they can move up in the standings. Let's go with Tony first up on this one. Is it going to be any challenge for Carolina, or should they just, in a way, kind of take care of business?
Yeah, I think Carolina's going to run the football. They're really good at home too, so I think Carolina controls this game by at least 10 points.
Okay, sounds good. And let's go with Big Glenn. The Carolina's going to do the same thing that they did to the Cowboys. You know, they're going to come in and they're going to take care of business.
You know, he had to get a dig in there at some point.
Yeah.
Let's go with Chris.
I will say I'm not disputing what Frankie was saying because he was right about, you know, we ain't done anything against the bad team this year. So,
yeah. All right, Chris, let's go with this. Carolina, New Orleans. You think that Tyler Shugg, is he the answer? Or is he still just a feeder quarterback?
Oh, yeah. This is going to be actually, I think it's going to be a lot closer game than what people think. They have the Panthers as the 5.5-point favorites. I actually like this. I like the Panthers to win this game, but I like the Saints to cover. I think the Saints is going to cover the 5.5. Divisional game. These games are usually a lot closer, usually close games, no matter if one team is good and one team isn't. And I think the Shook or Show, however you pronounce his name, I think he'll play a little bit better now that he has a start under him. Carolina's offense is kind of up and down. If they can get the run game going, they can be hard to stop. If they can't get that run game going, they can have trouble scoring. So I think Carolina wins the game, but I think it's going to be a lot closer game than what people think. And I like the Saints to cover the 5.5-point spread.
Okay, yeah. And let's go Jay McLovin. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, I'm right there with all you guys, really. I think Carolina's going to get this win. New Orleans still has not really solidified that quarterback position. And because they haven't really solidified the quarterback position, and Kamara is not exactly jumping off the page with the running game, I'm going to go with Carolina on this one. The Green Bay game was probably the biggest win that they've had out of their schedule. So yeah, I'm gonna roll with them over the Saints. The Saints are just another team that's just struggling. But I think just like with the Colts, that when they found their quarterback, they were able to really take off as a team. And I think that's just kind of where New Orleans is. They're just still looking for that field general that's going to lead them down the path. So until they get that figured out, I'm gonna roll with the other team. So it'd be Carolina at this point.
I will say this, and Jay, let me keep it on you for a second. Whenever you guys let go of Rico Dowdle, I mean, did you see him kind of breaking out the way he has in Carolina? Because just looking at his numbers at the moment, 131 carries on the season. That's the 9th most in the league. 735 yards. That's top 4. He's number 4 right now. 4 touchdowns on the ground. That's still tied for 16th. So right there. I mean, he's had a really solid season. And like I said, he had 23. Because it's a good rush, like I said, against Dallas. 30 carries there, for God's sake. So he's been very impressive, and I know because it hurts for you to see.
With Rico, I knew he was going to do well with Carolina. I felt as long as he had a halfway decent offensive line, that he was going to have marginal, if not great, success with a decent to good offensive line. He was doing that with Dallas. I felt like Dallas really should have kept him and not let him walk. I think that might have been maybe, I don't know if that was a cap move or what, but I felt like we should have kept Dowdle. Not that Javonte Williams hasn't done well for the Cowboys, because he has. He's done excellent. but I felt like we could have kept Dowdle and been just as good, So and look what Dowdle did to the Cowboys. I mean, he shredded us.
Yeah, that was definitely a stamp of approval right there for how well he's played this year. All right, interesting matchup here, guys, with Chicago and New York with the Giants. Another 1:00 kick here. How do we feel this one? This matchup we got this weekend. Big Glenn, we'll kick it off to you first, and give us your thoughts on this game.
I pretty much feel the same way that I feel about the Jets and the Browns. One of those who gives a shit games. I gotta take the Bears though. The Bears look like they have enough life in them to get by New York in that way.
Okay, let's go with Tony. Who do you got winning this one? You gonna go with the Bears or you gonna go with Giants?
I know it's at Chicago, but I don't know. I would feel more comfortable with taking the Giants if the one running back hadn't got hurt.
Scatterbo, yeah.
Yeah, but I would have definitely tucked them. But I think I'm gonna still take the Giants. Chicago crapped the bed their last game, didn't look real good, especially on defense. I'm gonna take the Giants by field goal.
Okay, all right, Chris, let's go over to you here and how you think this matchup's going to play out.
I like the Giants as well. He stole it from me because I was going to Giants as well, especially the +4.5 if I'm taking the spread. But Giants have been playing better since Jackson Dart took over. The Scatterbo injury does hurt, but the Bears are just so inconsistent. I think the Giants have played more consistent than the Bears, especially since Dart has been starting. They just got to clean up a few things to figure out how to close out games has been their big issue. But yeah, I like the Giants here.
All right, and Jay, which side you picking here between these two teams?
Yeah, I felt like, when Scatterbo left with that injury, all the energy that's generated or has been generated at least has come from him, channeled into Jackson Dart, and then translated into the mild success that they've had in the rebuild that they're doing. When Scatterbo is now not there, I feel like that takes a lot of energy away from that offensive unit. I know they got Tracy still over there, and then they got that other young running back behind Trace. I cannot remember his name right offhand. I'm sure you guys know. Yeah, I'm going to roll. I know Swift is probably a game time decision, but they have a really good running back that I just picked up that had like 20-something points or has been averaging 20-something points off fantasy-wise and has been playing well. So I don't think that they're going to take a step back with the running game, no matter what running back they have inserted in there. And I'm looking for the Bears to bounce back. And the fact that it's in Chicago, yeah, I'm rolling with the Bears on this one.
Okay, yeah, I am. I'm going to go with the Giants in this matchup. I think that this could be a good kind of maybe a breakout game for Jackson Dart. Like I said, the Bears have just been. It's like one step forward, two steps back type situation. Every time you think they're going to build some momentum and start kind of rolling, they kick themselves in the ass and go a little bit backwards. But that's just how it's been past two seasons with Caleb Williams, and then we see this year with Ben Johnson, I believe. Yeah, and I remember during the draft, a lot of people were kind of questioning when they picked up Colston Loveland, when they got him in the draft, and then the issues. I'm sure you've all heard about the issues with Romo Dunze and his father on Twitter. That there's been already chirping there. And so I think that, anytime there's any kind of off the field drama that gets brought to your team, that's never a good omen or a good sign for things to come. So I'm gonna go with New York in this one. I think, like I said, it does suck, man, that they lost Scatterbo because he's just entertaining as hell to watch. He was like an old power running back, just running through guys, just head first, head down, just get out of my way.
Larry Zonk in the film style shit.
Yeah, there it is. But Jackson, I like Jackson Dart. He's a good young quarterback, and now it's all pretty much on him now to get it going. It's like, all right, we got you a couple weeks in. You should be pretty well adjusted to the league now. We need you to kind of step it up and be the player we selected. To lead this franchise at quarterback. So we'll see what happens there in this upcoming match. Let me get the screen pulled up. And we go now to this one's got some interest interesting elements to it. Baltimore Ravens, also final 1 o'clock game here. Baltimore Ravens heading out and taking on the Minnesota Vikings. And two teams you look at, and especially Baltimore, obviously they've been without Lamar Jackson for quite some time, but they got him back here recently, and they're hoping to rally like there's no tomorrow in hopes to get to the playoffs. Do you think that they have it in them, Jay?
Man, that's the Viking. Who the Vikings played again?
Baltimore, the Ravens.
I can't see that. Yeah, I'm rolling with the Ravens on this game. I said I felt like once. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna roll the what?
It's the Cowboys take on the Vikings, Jay.
No, you didn't. You said Ravens. I can't see this damn. No, it's not the Cowboys.
Hey, he can't see the graphic and he can't hear either. So
no, I learned that when I started tuning out Melanie. My hearing has never been that great. It says right there, Ravens versus Vikings. That's the game we're talking about, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
What are your thoughts?
Why y'all laughing when I said Ravens? All you. I hope you all burn in hell, except for Tony because he's old. I'm just gonna make this quick. I'm going to Ravens. Lamar Jackson's back. I feel like they're going to the top of that damn division. The Vikings. I don't know if there's McCarthy playing right now or is he back? Is he back fully?
JJ, yes.
He's back, yeah.
Yeah. So fucking head. I don't know, man. I hope.
All right. Let before we fly off the rails here, Big Glenn.
No, all right. Thank you.
Which team we go with? Which shade of purple win this one?
We're going with Baltimore Ravens on this one, and I'll tell you why. If they're going to want to make the playoffs, they have to start this weekend.
That's fair. And Joe, thank you. Guys, come on. Leave him alone. Leave Jay alone. Hey, Joe, tweet that out. # leave Jay alone. And we'll get that trending on here on the page.
It's my boy from Italy, man.
That's the boy. Yep, that's the boy. All right, Chris. Who you got in this one here? Minnesota, you got Baltimore trying to get their rally going.
Who are the Vikings playing?
Baltimore.
IU. They play IU.
No,
Yeah, IU. Yeah.
Okay,
No. Bring him back.
I'm actually going to be the contrarian here. I like the Vikings, and I like the Vikings in this game. Baltimore has Lamar Jackson back. That takes care of one side of the ball. Their defense has not been good. It looked a little bit. It looked a little bit better last week, but they played the Dolphins whenever they played the Dolphins, and the Dolphins actually, if they don't make self-inflicted mistakes, that game's a lot closer. With the Vikings have a lot better defense, so I like the Vikings in a close game.
Okay, and let's see. You almost got it. We need a little bit more. One more over. Hit the 3 on the keyboard. That's the 2, and you got it. But Tony, I think I did. I go to you already. I kind of lost the shelf. Go ahead. Thank you.
I keep going back and forth on this game. I think I'm gonna go with Baltimore because I think their defense has gotten better. They did play better against Miami. They also played good against Chicago too. That's before Lamar came back. They held Chicago to about 15, 16 points. So I think Baltimore's defense is playing well. The last game, the running game got going too. Since Lamar's back, that helped that. I think it's going to be a close game. I wouldn't be shocked if Minnesota win, but I'm gonna pick Baltimore pulling it out by 3.
Okay, and for me, I'm going to go on the contrary. I'm going to roll with Minnesota. I think that good franchise, good, like I said, team that's hoping to kind of get back here. And for JJ McCarthy, I mean, hell, we're kind of in that Zion Williamson phase with him, I feel, of you get to him for a little bit, so on and so forth. You get out of here. You get hurt. Yeah. And so I think that, I like Minnesota. Like I said, their defense, they have some good players over there. And Baltimore, I think – they still have maybe a little bit of time. They need some help, but I think that right now I'm going to go with maybe slight upset in some people's minds. Just because, obviously, Lamar Jackson is a game changer, but I'll go with Minnesota getting the team win in this one here. So let's go ahead and transition into the 4 o'clock kickoffs and beyond. NFC West is on display here. Arizona Cardinals taking on Sam Darnold and Seattle Seahawks. Let's go with Tony up first to bat. Who you got in this one?
Arizona's got a good defense, but I don't think they're going to be able to score enough points, even though Brissett's been playing well. I think Seattle is going to be too much for him.
All right, let's go Big Glenn.
I mean, we saw on Sunday Night Football how good Seattle is, and we seen how good Arizona was on Monday. So I gotta take Seattle.
All right, Chris, a little bit of a toss up here. What do we feel?
I think Seattle wins the game. Seattle's 6.5-point favorites at home, but I would take the Cardinals in the 6.5 points. I think this game will be decided by probably by a field goal. Cardinals defense is real good. They've lost almost all their losses this year have been by a field goal or one possession. They haven't really been blown out. So yeah, I think the Cardinals keep it close, maybe pull out an upset, but I think Seattle wins because of the way Sam Darnold's playing. But I like the Cardinals better now that they've named Brissett the starter. That offense has looked better this year with Brissett as the quarterback than it has Kyler Murray, and then their defense is playing so well. So I like the Cardinals at the plus 6.5 if I was betting this on the spread. But to win the game, I think Seattle pulls it out by a field goal.
Okay, let's go Jay McLovin.
Yeah, so Green. No, I'm kidding. I know the game this is. Cardinals. I feel like Kyler Murray is definitely the better athlete than Brissett, but I think Brissett fits this system better than Kyler does. I like the way Brissett is playing in this system. So actually, I think that actually helps the Cardinals rather than hurting them, not having Kyler in there, in my opinion. Obviously, Trey Benson, I thought was going to make his appearance in this game, but it looks like going to hold him out one more week. And then maybe they get Trey Benson back to get their running game going. I don't like their run game at all. I like their defense. Obviously, when they played Dallas, that defense played quite well. I think Seattle, with the addition of Rashid Shaheed and the speed that he brings to that offense, really, I've told Tony this minute ago, I feel like it's going to be like the greatest show on turf, Isaac Bruce and Holt, with all the speed that those two guys had. So I think Sam Darnold is going to have a great game. I really expect him to have a great game with that offense. And I think the defense, they got the number 5 ranked defense. They're going to hold their own there. And so ultimately, Seattle, in my opinion, right now is the best team in football. And I think the Colts are kind of right behind them on that, just because both teams are so well balanced as a whole. But yeah, I'm going with Seattle. I think they get the win. I think it'll be a close game because of the two defenses. But ultimately, I think they get it. Be right back.
I felt like we transported back to like 2000.
Hey guys, can I add one thing real quick?
Go ahead, man.
These two teams played earlier in the season, and Seahawks beat them 23-20, and I'm pretty sure that was with Kyler Murray as the quarterback.
Yeah,
I'm
That's what I said. I think it's going to be a field goal game. I really do think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, well, Arizona's lost 5 games this year by a total of 13 points.
That's telling. That's telling
the Colts beat them by a field goal.
Yep.
Seattle's beat them by a field goal. I mean,
they're playing tough. They're playing some good football.
A lot of the top teams, but barely. Like their record, they're a lot better team than what their record shows. They really are.
And what's also with Arizona? Didn't Kyler sign somewhat semi-recently? Didn't he sign a pretty lucrative contract with them to be their starter?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I think they still owe him like $100 million guaranteed or something.
Hey, Kirk Cousins, you might have some company for high-end contract quarterbacks who ain't getting any playing time. I mean, Jacoby Brissett, like I say, he's been around the league, feels like forever. He's played for half the teams here on the show. played for New England, played for Indy. So
I think Murray will be. I think Murray will be out of Arizona after this season.
Do you see any like immediate fits? Do you think he kind of goes the travel path, maybe as a backup somewhere, and then can transition back into a starter? Or do you think that maybe someone and maybe tries to mold their team around him? But also, you got to remember too, got the NFL draft, and what do we always see? A lot of high-end quarterbacks get picked.
Yep. I think about the only team I could really think of that might want him as a starter would be maybe New Orleans because they really don't have nobody.
Yeah.
But I kind of
Miami?
have a feeling that we might see him go the baseball route.
I know I'd seen where I forget who it was here today. I'd seen a clip of it where that was brought up also, and he was drafted many moons ago. And I think there's still you can find, and Glenn, I know you're kind of a card expert here, that there were a couple of cards made of Kyler Murray playing baseball.
Yes, there's some out there, that's for sure. I know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he's going to go the baseball route, but I could see him. And like you said, New Orleans is obviously a candidate for needs a quarterback. I threw out Miami just because I feel that if, like I said, they are going to fire McDaniel, I predict, which means you're just going to kind of gut it and start fresh at that point. Scrap whatever you got, and it's not like Tua's been a superstar for him. You know, he's done just enough to be a starter. It feels like he's been a fringe guy instead of a high-end MVP type candidate, or leading them to all these magical runs. We haven't seen that from him. So,
I mean, look, if you look at the Cardinals' schedule, like their wins and losses this year, it's crazy. Most of the teams they've lost to are playoff teams, and they've all been like they lost to the 49ers by 1 point, lost to the Seattle Seahawks by 3 points. They've lost to the Colts by 3 points, lost to the Packers by 4 points. Like their losses have all been to some of the top teams, and they've all been games that they had chances to win. So they're a team to me that's a lot better than what their record shows.
Yep.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
All right, 4 games left here on the docket. Let's knock them out here, guys. All right, we got LA with the Rams taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Battle of the West here. Start off with Big Glenn. Your thoughts here, 4:25 kickoff out there, Candlestick in San Fran.
You mean Levi Stadium?
Close enough. Hey, man.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
It's all one big area, but
yeah, close enough.
I think San Fran's starting to figure out the team that they are getting everybody back. You got Christian McCaffrey getting fired up, and Mac Jones holding down the fort while, the other guy's out. He's about to come back too.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah, Brock Purdy. Yeah, he's about ready to come back as well. I think this is going to be a close game. I think it's going to be like a 27-24 kind of game.
Okay, close from there.
San Fran gets to win.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go with Chris. Oh, he's back yet. I think he might have stepped away. All right, Tony, let's pass it over to you. Let's get your thoughts.
It's been another one that I've been going over and over and over. I like San Francisco at home. They're a good team. They got McCaffrey, but I think I really like the Rams. Man, and these games are usually really, really tight between these two teams. I'm going to go with the Rams by field goal.
Yeah, this has the makings for a close game. Jay, do you think it's going to be kind of a field goal or 1 touchdown type of game, or do you think that it might be one of those where it's more of a blowout, unfortunately?
I don't think it'll be a blowout. Although the 49ers did lose another defensive player in Mikael Williams, the rookie. So, and again, he's a key player on there. So they seem to be losing players on the defense and the offense. I never liked it when McCaffrey is not only your leading rusher, but he's also your leading receiver. That just, I feel like if you can limit him, then you've really taken away that offense. And so because of that, I'm going to roll with the Rams on this. I think the Rams are, an amazing team. They're definitely going to be a wild card team. I think Seattle's going to run that division. But, so for that reason, I definitely am rolling with the Rams.
Yeah, I think that, San Francisco, like I said, that's the big target for them. If you can stop McCaffrey, you can pretty much halt their offense for the most part.
Right.
You mentioned they're a little banged up on defense with Williams going out. So, because you're going to get that this late in the season. You're going to get guys, being out for, rest of the year for a couple of weeks for, they might miss a game. We got Joe here chiming in, get his thoughts here. He's got the LA Rams taking it home by 14 in his prediction. So I'm also going to rock with LA on this one. I think it'll be another close matchup. I'm going to go final score. Let's go 33-30 in favor of LA picking up this one. So like I say, he's got a 14-point win for LA. Chris, let's get your thoughts on this matchup here in the West of the San Francisco 49ers and the LA Rams.
I like the 49ers here, even though the Rams were one of my favorites to make the Super Bowl. One, the 49ers are at home. Two, Kyle Shanahan has owned Sean McVay head-to-head, especially in San Francisco. These two guys know each other so well, but when they played each other, Shanahan has found a way to come out on top. So I like the 49ers here at home.
Okay, sounds good. And we're going to transition into our final 425 matchup. And this one's probably going to be the most viewed of the weekend. It's going to be the Detroit Lions taking on the Washington Commanders in Washington. It was also announced earlier on today that President Donald Trump will be in attendance for that game. So that's going to be the highest attended game, highest viewed game of the week, if I had to guess. But with that one, two tremendous teams. Detroit, we know kind of the rise they've had in recent years. And for the Commanders, a team that with Jaden Daniels, and we haven't talked about him. We didn't talk about him in the news segment because we were kind of saving it for this. But no surgery for Jaden, which is good. Still gives you a little bit of hope for the end of the year that he can get it back together. But Jay, let's go with your comments first and foremost here about this game here. A lot of eyes on this one.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me with Washington is just a number of injuries. Obviously, McLaurin is out. Jaden Daniels is out. Mariota is what Mariota is at this time. He's not the same Mariota when he first came in the league. Obviously, he's got some age on him. So I think he's just a good serviceable backup. But against this Detroit Lions team, it's not going to happen, man. Aiden Hutchinson, I think, is going to put a lot of pressure on Mariota and keep him off balance. And like I said, without McLaurin being there, it's going to be hard for Debo and company to really stretch that field. And again, for whatever reason, he does not like to use his tight ends, which I feel like Zach Ertz, would be a good safety valve for when Debo is being covered. But he just does not use Zach Ertz as much as what Jaden did. So I'm going to go with Detroit on this. St. Brown and Gibbs and all those guys over there. I think it's just going to be too much for them to handle. So I'm going to roll with Jared Goff and Detroit Lions on this one.
Chris Gonzalez, how we roll with this one?
I like Detroit in this game. I like Detroit even if Washington was healthy, but with the injuries they have and stuff, I don't think they're going to have enough to keep up with the Lions.
All right, Tony, same thoughts?
Yeah, I like Detroit. I say at least by 10. They just got too many weapons, and Washington's banged up. Even though it is at Washington, I just don't think they have got enough to stay with Detroit at this time.
Okay, let's go Big Glenn.
The Lions are going to run all over freaking Washington. It's going to be silly how the score will end up being.
Yeah, this one's going to be rough. Jay, this is to me quarterback comparison. That's the main deal here for me. So you got no disrespect to Marcus Mariota. The dude's been around the league for 10 plus years, but Jared Goff is just kind of head and shoulders better overall. And like I said, I think that they're just a better squad. We will see how this one goes down. Once again, that one's going to be 4:25 final kickoff there this upcoming Sunday as we get the screen back up here. All right, fellas, final two here. End it strong. 8:20 p.m. kick. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Chargers going this one. This one's going to be in L.A. at nighttime. So, Tony, we'll start with you here. Who do you got winning this one?
I know Pittsburgh looked really good at home the last game, but of course that was at home. The Chargers can struggle offensively at times, but I'm going to go with the Chargers by a field goal. Close game, probably 23-20.
All right, Chargers by a field goal. Let's go with Jay McLovin. Jay, you there?
Jay, are you there, Jay? He looks he's frozen.
He might be frozen, yeah. I think he's frozen. All right, let's go. Let's switch it and let's go to Chris. Let's get your thoughts on this matchup here, Pittsburgh and LA.
I'm going to take Pittsburgh because of the injuries that the Chargers have. if Joe Alt was playing for the Chargers, I would take the Chargers in this game.
Mm-hmm.
But with Joe Alt not playing, I think that Steelers' defensive line is going to cause the Chargers a lot of trouble. So I like Pittsburgh on the road, mainly because some of the injuries the Chargers have.
Yeah, just like I said, that Joe Alt injury is big one. They're already, they lost Slater before the season even started on the O-line. And Alt was kind of your final A-plus guy, you know what I mean? Young talent. You hope to carry the season. Unfortunately, he's out. But I think that LA is going to put up a good fight. I think they are still a good team. But I think that overall, Pittsburgh and what a turnaround, kind of Pittsburgh's had here. That a lot of people I thought they were kind of dead in the water last year. Obviously, they looked horrible. And pick up Aaron Rodgers, who, like I said, is aging. Then you get DK Metcalf, which helps out. But I think that they've looked good this year, and I'm going to roll with them getting the win on the road in LA. Could be a good matchup, but I'll go Pittsburgh winning by 7 points in this one here. Let's go, Big Glenn. Your thoughts on Pittsburgh and LA here?
Steelers, their defense looked fantastic last week. If they bring that same defense to LA, they'll win. They'll win by about 10 points.
Okay, we will see how this one shakes out. And I think Jay's trying to come on back here. Let me see if we can get him booted up. We see he's loading. He's no longer in the frozen section. Joe, he picked up some popsicles. He is back. Jay, glad you're back, my friend. Let's wrap this one here up with Pittsburgh and LA.
Yeah, that's a problem when you live in a forest and you ain't got one cell phone tower and everybody and their mother's trying to get a hold of it. So we're talking about Steelers and Chargers.
Yes.
Yeah, no, God, the only thing with the Chargers is Amari Hampton still has not been back yet. And I don't know, do they still know when he's going to come back to this team, or is he done or all the way around? Or
I'm not sure. I can look that up real quick about his status.
Either way, though, when you look at the Steelers, especially with DK Metcalf, that guy's so damn inconsistent that I think receiving-wise or offensively, I just think they just don't have enough right now. And so I'm rolling with the Chargers on this one. Even without Amari and Hampton in a decent run game, I'm still going to roll with the Chargers. That defense and Justin Herbert and company, McConkey and all them. Especially now that Johnson is back, even though I know Johnson's kind of taking a step back after that injury that he sustained. But I'm going to roll with the Chargers on this. I think it's just too much for Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh has just been too inconsistent.
So, Jay, I found this article that was posted just earlier today, actually. This is right around a couple hours ago. Marion Hampton, he's doing a little bit of work off to the side in practice today. Wasn't listed as a participant in the practice, so he was just kind of doing some stretches or whatnot off to the side. But important to note for the team's sake and also for anyone in fantasy, Coach Jim Harbaugh said earlier in this week that Hampton is not expected, want to emphasize that, to return until after the Chargers Week 12 bye. So he's going to be out for a little bit longer. They just don't want to rush him back, I think. Like I say, he's a young guy. You don't want to hamper him, but they think they can kind of hold the line down while he recovers. So, I mean, hell, you got Justin Herbert. That's not a bad deal at all. I think that he's capable of leading the team while Hampton recovers, gets back fully healthy, and they hope they can make some noise into the late half, the kind of last stretch of the season there. So, interesting to see. All right, final game here, folks. Let's wrap it up here on a high note. We got Philadelphia and Green Bay, and real question for everyone here on the panel is how many complaints are we going to see about tush push come Monday? Let's go with Tony up first.
Oh man, this is at Green Bay, and
yes, it is.
Oh man, it's a toss up. But I'm gonna go with Philly winning this by a little less than a touchdown, maybe 6 points. I think Philly. And we'll see the tush push at least twice.
Okay, at least twice. All right. Jay McLovin, over under for the tush push. We're at 2.
Oh, I definitely think we're going to see the tush push to the point where I think they're actually making a bronze statue of the tush push, and they're going to put it at
they probably are.
I
stadium.
feel like I'll make it all cheap.
One thing Philadelphia loves to do, according to Pags, is they like to put statues everywhere. So I can see a statue of that at some point. But no, I'm gonna go over. No, I'm gonna go under. I don't think they're gonna. I suck at this betting thing. When you say over and under, explain over and under. That under means that means you don't think you're going to see it as much. Correct?
Let's go to our betting.
I'm not a bettor.
Get a little bit of class here.
If the over under is at 3.5, if you pick 4, that means it's more than 3.5.
Okay, I'll never. That betting thing, I don't. Again, I'm not a bettor. I don't endorse betting. I don't do it. So apologize if I'm ignorant in that subject matter.
You probably would be homeless if you just bet honestly, but it's me.
Oh,
yeah, that's no. Again, you're right. That's why Jay McLovin don't bet, because I don't understand half that math. Look, I failed math class. Okay, I don't understand the greater than, less than, whatever signs. Hell with that bullshit.
And I will say this: in the state of Georgia, here where I live, sports gambling is not legal, so I have no reason to know any of that terminology. And I was also not at those poker games back a couple of years.
Yeah, I know you want Logan, which is a good thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's keep it going here with Green Bay and with Philly, and let's go. Big Glenn. How are we doing on this one?
I'll tell you what, man. If we were talking about Billy, I say that tush push line is probably the over under is probably about 1.5. I'm hitting the over. I think you see it twice. Green Bay, Philly gets the win.
All right, Philly on top. Chris, you got the same thing? You think that the Eagles are going to pull this one out, or you think that Green Bay, who is a formidable opponent, that they may become above it and beat up on Philly?
Excuse me. I think Philadelphia wins this game. I think it's going to be a close game. I think Philly probably wins it with a field goal toward the end. Green Bay have just lost found ways to lose too many of these close games, and where Philly's been finding ways to win them. So I'm going to go with the Eagles. And I think tush push wise will be way over too. We'll probably see it 7 or 8 times at least.
Yeah, that 7 or 8. That's a good one there. We're seeing it feels like more and more each and every week. And what the thing is that with the team, and that's how they're all going to be known as, is that's their defining play. That's their that's their
I don't see why
hands. I mean, hey, they saw a loophole. I can't be mad at them for that. They outsmarted the system. I mean, I ain't gonna be upset with them for that.
No, it's just another version of a quarterback sneak that has been a legal play forever.
Hell, I mean, hey, there's a play. Remember, they doesn't get used a ton, but it's fake spike, right? I use all the time in Madden. Yeah, like you're gonna spike the ball and kill the clock, but you go for it. It's like, hey, what the hell are we doing here? And we got Joe, who gives his opinion here, who says that he is tired of the tush push. He is on the team that wants to kick it out of the league, and they go back to traditional quarterback sneaks or fullback runs or just runs up the gut there.
I don't have a problem with the tush push whatsoever. I really don't. The only problem I have, there is one problem that I do have with the way they do it, is when they line up in the neutral zone. That's a problem for me, because if anybody else lines up in the neutral zone, that's not a tush push play. They always get called for it and always get penalized. But for some damn reason, they allow the Eagles to line up in that damn neutral zone every damn time, and they let them have it. And that's the only problem I have. I feel like it is a version of cheating when they line up in the neutral zone. If they're doing it the way the play is supposed to be done, then I don't have a problem with it.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
It could be.
The Astros haven't done that, so
yeah. All right. For me, I'm going to go with the Eagles in this one. I think the Packers are going to fight. I'll go with a final 7-point difference in this one. Let's go 28-21 final prediction for that. As the Eagles keep rolling, and I think, like I said, I think overall Green Bay that they've got some good pieces. I still don't think they're quite there yet to move up in kind of the ranking system, the power rankings at this time. But I wouldn't also be surprised if they prove me wrong and if they get the win at home at Lambeau. Starts to get a little bit colder out there. When of course we always know that they're always love seeing the snow games out there as we get into the winter months. And also Joe is in agreement with you, Jay, about how there should be a modification rather than just getting rid of the play entirely, just kind of tweak it, which I feel like that's what a lot of coaches, players, media personalities, talking heads, that's a main thing. It's either you go way off and say, well, I don't need it. Well, it's not like they're doing anything crazy. But if you make those slight changes to it, to where, like you said, Jay, they're kind of that neutral zone, that's more, at an even playing field, that's fine. You just change it up a little bit. But we'll see what happens. Those are always, it's been kind of talk of the meetings, the off season last year or so. All right, well, guys, let's go with any final thoughts here. Anything else you want to talk about before we head out for the day here? Just kind of final thoughts here. Go Jay McLovin up first. Jay, there?
No, the only thought I had is make sure you give subscribe, hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed our content today, and go over to Gonzo Sports Room. Make sure you give them a subscribe on their page as well. They did some really good content last night. I enjoyed it. Had a good time, and you guys will too. These guys know their wrestling probably better than anybody I know. And if you're a wrestling enthusiast, you will not be disappointed in their content. I promise you. And if you would give us a subscribe on our ESEN, Elite Sports Entertainment Network channel as well, we certainly would appreciate it. That's what all I have. Enjoy your weekend, and it's going to be a good one.
Hey, Jay, one more time before we head off for you this week. We got Joe one more time saying if the Eagles are allowed to do the tush push, the Astros should be allowed to use the trash cans. That's his humble opinion. So,
I'm sure they have a lot of trash cans around there, so.
All right, Big Glenn, let's go with you. Any events coming up this weekend? You're going to be at any Pacers games? Anything going on around town, or hanging out?
Yeah, but basketball down where Hinkle Fieldhouse tomorrow. That's about it. I think my next Pacer game won't be until after Thanksgiving. So.
Okay. All right, Tony, how's your weekend looking?
I just plan on watching a lot of college football and a lot of NFL, so not a whole lot. Go IU and go Colts.
And Chris, we'll get you we'll get you some Baileys for your coffee as you watch the Colts on Sunday morning. How about that?
Oh yeah, that'd be all right. No, that's about all I'm got planned for the weekends. Try to get hopefully fully healthy where I'm not coughing up a lung anymore, and then watch some football. Hopefully, watch my Hoosiers whip up on Penn State tomorrow, and then watch the Colts Sunday morning, and then I'll watch NFL Red Zone probably the rest of Sunday because the Colts play so damn early.
I'm about to say you're gonna be well versed on all the other teams across the league. You're gonna have the whole day to watch them. So I'll
watch all the other games, but like if the Colts play at 1, I watch the Colts game, and then I'll have Red Zone on another TV, and I kind of just keep track. And then I'll watch at 4:00. I watch all just watch Red Zone. Yeah. So now from 1 to 7, I'll just be watching Red Zone because Colts play so early. But in a way, it'll be okay. It just means I gotta make sure I'm up a little earlier so I'm wide awake by the time games start.
All right, Jay. Yeah. Well, I got your hand up. What's up?
Yeah, no, I was just saying. Breaking news: Jose Altuve, George Springer have reached agreement with the sponsorship with Rubbermaid for trash cans as a sponsor.
I'll let you guys know that
they have been sponsored and they are doing well. And they did the sponsorship in lieu of the lockout coming to support their habits.
Wow,
that's all right.
That's great. That's fantastic. I also saw that the New York Jets have a new sponsor they're going to be going with next season. It's going to be hefty because all the fans keep putting bags over their heads while the team performs on Sunday.
It's a rough one.
It's
a rough one.
Rough franchise. All right, well, guys, appreciate everyone hopping on the show today. It's been a full cast here. Cast and crew, of course, Chris and Tony Gonzalez, Big Glenn, Foxborough, Frankie Steven chimed in for a moment. And Jay McLovin, of course, thank you to all of our fans, all of our viewers. Joe, as always, my friend, appreciate you always coming on, interact with us in the comments section. Always fun talking with you. I've been your host and producer. Also, one more Go Rockets from Joe as we end the show here. Oh, and also, look at Frankie with the late breaking news. We fired our special teams coach, the Raiders did. Let's give a quick thought on that. Not surprised. I mean, you saw what happened last night. Need I say more? I mean, with how that went, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. But like I said, that might not be the first of many heads to roll at that team, that franchise, but we'll cover maybe some of the bigger ones later on down the road. But for all of us here on the afternoon show, like Jay said earlier, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and go check out all the other great content, all the other great shows that we host here on our show. Enjoy your weekend. Take it easy. Be safe. And we'll see you again on Monday for the afternoon.